what do you want? Well, I don't want to feel like this, and I don't, okay, but what do you want? Well, I don't even know. I can't even think out of this. Okay, so you want to think past this. That's a start. That's a start. Now, everybody's timeline is different, everybody has different wants, but I would say, what is it that you want? Well, gosh, I just want to not yell at my kids, or I just want to have a nice interaction at the store, or I just want to, feel good in my body, or I just want to drive in my car and not feel claustrophobic. Just,
Yeah.
okay, so that's a start. And
Yeah.
that's something we can start with.
Hey everyone, Irene Lyon here. I'm thrilled to share this interview with you. You just saw a little clip from my chat with one of my longtime students, Bernadet. We did a talk about a year ago in summer of 2024, so I'm going to date this. It is currently the autumn of 2025. And I wanted to have her back on because she just accomplished a huge life goal, and that is becoming a school teacher. And she didn't get to this due to sheer will and force. It was through restoring regulation to her nervous system. And so in this talk, we go through some of the steps and really the process by which she had to keep coming back, keep plugging away at the work she was doing with her own system via my online courses, namely the 21-day nervous system tune-up and SBSM, Smart Body, Smart Mind. If you don't know what these are, we will post those below so that you can check those out and start them. I also wanted to talk to her because a thing I hear a lot from my students, from you, is procrastination, resistance, brain fog, this inability to think and really do the things that you want to do. And this is connected to the nervous system. This is connected to trauma that is stored. And we cover all these topics in this chat. It's a fun chat. It's an easy chat. We don't really dive into specifics of what occurred to her when she was young. It's more about what she's done in the past 5 years to get to this goal of being a full-fledged teacher with a bachelor's in education. Enjoy my talk with Bernadet, and be sure to leave a comment, ask a question. If you have a similar story, I'd love to hear it. Just super, super thrilled to see my students continue to progress and keep the regulation that they're gaining within my courses and programs. Hey, Bernadette,
Hi.
what you wearing there?
I feel like this is such a surreal moment, Irene. I look back and I think, wait, how did this happen? And even just the setting the second interview up was such a completely different feeling. Because if you remember how freaked out I got about, because I had to go through the different steps of audio and testing,
Right.
recording. I mean, it was just all this confused mishmash in my head. And it just brought up
Absolutely.
so much of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you had asked to do this again, I'm like, I got excited, like, great, oh, that sounds fun. And then when you said yesterday, you said, I'll send you the link tomorrow. I was cool as a cucumber as far as like, I've done it before. If it gets wonky or crazy, we'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had this moment of last night going, wait, shouldn't I be more like out of
Nervous.
sync? Well, just the confused or the problem
Yeah.
or just what I was used to, right?
Yeah.
Just the jammed up. And so to have this free space, God, it just feels euphoric almost.
It's amazing. You look
No,
great.
yeah, it really is. It's just fun to have this check-in because,
Mm-hmm.
when I think back to our last conversation, graduating, getting my degree, completing that was not even on the radar. It's nothing it was always the monkey on my back.
Yeah, you never mentioned it last year. So,
No.
what I'll do, I'll set the stage, everyone, because we just started recording, and that's how we like to roll sometimes
Right.
here. Bernadette is one of my students, and I'll get you to tell your story in the short version because we did another talk about a year ago in August, I believe, of 2024.
Okay.
That's I think that's when it
I
was.
have
It
to
was
look
about a
back
year
in.
ago.
Right.
And you, at the time, had a great story, a tough story about being a substitute teacher in a classroom we'll link that video so people can watch the long form. It's like an hour and 20 minutes. But today I wanted to bring you on because about a month or maybe 2 months ago, you sent me an email saying, guess what? I have my degree, hence your hat. You're an SBSM student, Smart Body, Smart Mind. You did a beta training with me, so you did a little more intensive training. And I think your story is one to really be heard because even just yesterday, Bernadette, I was teaching a class, one of our little mini classes on titration, and there were a lot of comments about people having procrastination and resistance, and I just can't get myself to do this stuff. And my sense is you were in that boat for a good portion of your life, and now you're not.
Right. And just even saying that word titration, I remember hearing that first from you years ago. So I found you about 5 years ago just on YouTube as a fluke, right? Knew nothing about you. But when I got into your teaching and I heard that word, first of all, it felt like such a grown-up word. Like I loved saying it, titration, right? Just felt so sciencey to me.
Yeah.
But the idea of it truly was, I was very conflicted about it. Because here I was gung-ho, wanting to go 100 miles an hour. Here's the latest, greatest thing, and this is going to help me. And she's telling me, titrate. Pay attention to how you're feeling in this moment. And I'm going, let's get to the good stuff. Let's enough of the titration, right?
Yeah.
And titration is really what saved my life. One of the many things with this work, to be
Yeah.
quite honest.
So tell everyone where you're at now with your career, your life, your health, and then let's go back
Okay.
a little bit. Sound
So,
good?
sure, it sounds great. So,
Yeah.
5 years ago is when I met you through online.
Yeah.
And I first started doing your 21 day. And it took me a year to get through the 21 day. So along with that, there's the beating myself up and I should be going faster and this is ridiculous. It's 21 days. Why is it taking so long? It was becoming agonizing and I don't need one more thing to feel burdened and agonized with, right? So, and even though I was so drawn to and I was loving it and I could tell stuff was reaching in and anchoring, I was still very just like, come on, let's get on with this, right? So for
Yeah.
me, it was always the fight of, come on, let's get on with this, so that my life, right? So that my life can start.
Exactly.
Put this away, move there. So I really stuck with that, and then I did your SBSM,
Yep.
and then I've done it every year since. And it was through the SBSM that I'm really kind of gaining this momentum of, oh, I'm getting like these aha moments of, oh, I get it. It is really me and me. It is me.
Yes.
It's not the steps and it's not the work, because the first year I worked on your SBSM, I had notebooks.
You were the good
Notebooks.
student.
Oh, yeah. Right. I mean, good student. And I was diligent and hours of it, right? Because I wanted to get it. And then it just, every year, more was just coming off of me and integrating and all that stuff. And 3 years ago is when I decided to become a substitute teacher. I'm sorry. Actually, at the same time I met you or online with you,
Yeah.
that's when I wanted to become a substitute teacher.
Got
I
it.
I tried to go through the process of online application and completely freaked out. Everything's overwhelming. I mean, my God, it was just a simple application and I am shut down and then disappointed and angry, right?
Yep.
The fight, 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 fight.
Yep.
Wanting to do this work so that I can do that, and it's just, ah. And
Can
then
I
the
just
next,
stop you for a sec? You wanted to be a teacher a long time ago.
yes, yes. Ever since I was a kid, I knew I want to be a teacher. After high school, I went to college, and when I went to the college just to look at it after my senior year of high school,
Yeah.
I literally started sobbing on campus. I thought, I can't do this.
Aw.
Isn't that weird? Like I think back and I'm like, wow, that is, I mean, I literally sobbed. And so I chipped away at it for many, many years. And then finally I was just like, this is just doing more harm than good.
Right.
You're
Right.
right. So
Yeah.
I put that away, did other things, blah, 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 found you, tried the application process to be sub, no go. Kept working on your, SBSM.
Yeah.
The next year, I'm thinking, I can do it. Same thing, a little less, but the
Yep.
same thing of shut down. And man, why is everything just like not in sync? What?
It's not computing.
No.
Yeah. So I want to name this for those listening. What you're talking about is cognition. Like
Yes.
you did not, here's someone who wants to be a teacher and help other little ones because you want to work with little kids, right? Elementary,
Yes.
learn. And here you are a grown adult struggling to do an application. So this is where the nervous system, as you've learned, and its dysregulation impacts that capacity to process cognitively.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
it. So then how do you build a life on that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So then you're thinking, well, life is just not for me because you need this, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You do.
And so discouraging and depressing and heavy, all that stuff. But I knew something was changing, something was working. I would have a little bit of a slight adjustment in the brain
Yeah.
situation. And I did try it for 2 years to try and apply. But I'll tell you what, that third year, so it was 3 years ago, I mean, it was just like, bloop, it just
It
came out
just
of me.
happened.
Yeah, resume, application. I'm thinking, how? How? It's still me. It's still a computer. I still have to go through the same process. How is this happening, right? So there's a lot of excitement in that.
Yeah.
And so I started subbing. So I'm in my third year of subbing. And I even look at that and go, wow, did we go through like this time warp? Like, how is 3 years gone by? How am I just like every year, showing up now? And when I was subbing, so 2 years ago, I was at a school, and there was also a sub in the break room, and her and I just started chatting.
Yeah.
And she was doing some work online for school, so she was telling me about this online school, and the way she was describing, I'm thinking, maybe I could give that a shot. Like, what? Not that she wasn't saying it was easy, but she was saying it was doable.
Yep.
She was a mom, so she was raising kids, and she was working, and she
Mm-hmm.
was doing this. And I'm like, well, all right. So it took about 4 months to actually get the ball going of transcripts and applications and all that stuff. But really, it was an easy process. It wasn't such an overloaded brain this time. It was, I think I can, yeah, I'm moving along. I think I just make one phone call. I just do
Yeah.
something like that, right? So it was just kind of working.
Yep.
So then I started the program, and Irene, it was so hard.
School is supposed to be kind of hard, so yeah.
It was. And they pride themselves on critical thinking. I'm like, oh, let's not do any critical thinking, just right? Because that makes me work even harder.
Of course.
And that's what we're training little kids now,
Yeah.
critical thinking.
Yeah.
It's so
Good.
vital, it's so important, and it just
Yes.
awakens the brain, and it makes those neurons happy. And I'm older going, no, let's just, you know? But what was interesting is I was feeling like, wow, this is really possibly going to happen. Like, I can see this happening. And then came along our little friend. And this is a camera.
Oh.
So on this online program, you have to be filmed,
Got it.
right? So they say, okay, now take your camera, show us what's on the walls, right? Make sure under the table, make sure nobody's there,
Oh,
basically.
for your testing.
Yeah, I'm sorry, for the testing.
Got it.
So you get this quiet space,
Right.
and they say they will cut the test off if, like, the doorbell rings, or a knock at the door, or
Sure.
a dog barking, or a child up the steps, or whatever it is. So I'm already a little bit, okay, let's
It's
just,
like you're in prison.
yes, right? But what I'm thinking is, that's okay. I have the skills I need. But one of the things they tell you is hands on the table. Okay? I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do
Right,
this.
right. In
I
case
can't,
you've got things on your handwritten.
right? I can't speak the question out loud. I can't, okay, 2 + 2. You can't say it out loud.
Right.
You can't move your head, right? Because that looks weird. So I'm
Wow.
thinking, well, normally I would do some orienting, like, okay, calm your space and just
Wow.
look outside and look to the distance and look. You can't do any of that. So I really felt that sense of confinement.
There's a strong constraint there. Like you got to stick to the, I mean, that's what we really worked with in the beta program was let's stick with these constraints and work with, right? Good for you.
Right. But what was interesting is as I was going through, I was probably 4 questions in on my very first test. And I had that feeling of, oh my gosh, I mean, I couldn't think straight. It shut down. I got nervous. The heart's racing. Am I doing it right? I don't want to be, thinking that I'm doing something wrong. They're watching me.
Yeah.
And I couldn't think, like, I could feel my heart and hear it, like, beating really fast. And we're timed. So I'm looking at the
Right.
clock. I'm doing this. And I can't pull the answer out. It was just so upsetting. And about, I don't know, 15 questions. And I thought, oh, I totally failed this. Like, this is not going to work. As
Right.
great of a plan this was, this is not going to work. I know I failed it.
Mm.
And it was a squeezing of all the old tapes coming up.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it was so bad for me that when I was just a few questions towards the end, tears are now
Oh,
coming down my face. And I'm like, oh no. So I start feeling failure and like, dang, I can't, how do people do this? I can't think straight. I don't know how they're asking the question in this way. And could you ask, if you could have asked it in a different way, then I could have gotten it. But it was so much squeezing that I just literally wanted to die. And I thought, man, that has been my school history
yeah. Your life story.
forever. Yeah, right. And you are finished with the test, you hit submit, and then within minutes it'll tell you. So I cleared my head, walked outside for a minute, and I just thought, well, it was a good run. And when I came back and it said I passed, I'm like, wait, are you sure?
What?
Yeah. How? I have no idea. Well, that happened for me every single test I took. And I took 20 of them.
Wow.
And it never got better. Like I thought I can get in the groove. I know what's coming. But really it never got better. But I started having such a different relationship towards it and a relationship towards me in it
Yeah.
and just a different perspective that I thought it's okay to feel that. Like it really
Yeah.
is just okay. I didn't know it was years ago.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. So you weren't afraid of your physiological reaction to a real acute stress, which is taking a test. It's stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was the stress plus the old tapes coming out. Well, when you change your perspective, like, oh, those are old tapes coming out.
Yes.
That isn't for this time. That was
Yeah.
for that time, but this is a different time. Then I just kind of allowed it to just be.
So
And what
now
a
you
great lesson.
have, say that again.
And I said, what a great lesson, because life is always testing every
It
single thing.
is. And now you know that just because you have a little bit of that nervous energy doesn't mean you're going to die.
It didn't, okay, what it was I wanted to die. Not that I was going to die. It wasn't like a humiliation when you're on stage, for example, giving a speech or whatever, and people are laughing. Yeah, that's humiliating. Oh, I just want to die. This was, no, I want to end this.
This is done.
I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have this garbage and gook that will never shut up. It wins. I just don't want it. Okay, fine, you win, right?
Yeah.
That's what it was for me. And
Yeah.
so to kind of like put that in check once and for all, I don't know. I learned so much in this past year from school. I am proud of myself because I don't know how I did it. And I say that, but it's like it is harder when you're older.
Okay, so just for the record, do you mind sharing your exact age?
I turned 56 in the
Okay.
summer.
So here you are, 56, mid 50s. You just got a degree in education to teach for real,
For real,
not just substitute, because
right?
there is a difference.
Yes.
You passed the tests. You've got your graduation cap, which is just so cute, by the way. I love it. What I want to just point out, because people are going to be watching this who know my work really well. Maybe they've watched our old interview. Maybe they're brand new, and I want to make the connection with the nervous system because one thing you just described is you were able to. I'm going to use a fancy word. You were able to decouple. This is a term, coupling dynamics in psychology and in somatic experiencing and somatic trauma healing. You were able to, I also like to think of it like Velcro. Like you were able to rip apart the past history of wanting to die, wanting to not do this, be with that physiology, but know that's actually not true.
Yes.
It's like you were able to decouple, separate, rip them apart.
Yes.
And this is the part that is so important because there's this thought, Bernadette, and I think you probably know this because you've been in the healing fields too, because I know you were a massage therapist and all that, where healing trauma means this like cloud of bliss and we're not going to feel difficulty and yet it's going to be there because life happens. And if we were to completely wipe out those tapes that you said, the past, that would mean we would have brain damage, right? And we don't want that.
Right. When I was on the airplane flying to the graduation ceremony with my husband to Boston, I got stuck in the bathroom.
Oh my God.
So it's a brand new airplane. Huge, right? So I go down the little aisle, go to the bathroom, and I can't get out the door.
Oh man.
Because there's a certain way, these new doors, it's a new plane, that you have to put your hand in like in a certain area, right? And I'm sure
Oh wow.
I'm sure it was marked or whatever, but I'm done and I'm trying to get out. I'm like, whoa, whoa. That's a little serious.
Yeah.
And it's embarrassing. So it was like, okay, I can either sit here for the entire 3 or I can bang on the door.
Yeah. Help.
Help. And that's what I did. And I'm like, bang, bang, bang. And then some guy who was sitting across got up and I said, oh, sir, I'm like, thank you so much. I said, I don't know what happened. Well, when I went back to my seat and the flight attendant came down, I had told her what had happened. She goes, oh yeah, that happens all the time on these new planes.
Oh my goodness.
I
So
know,
it's not
right?
just a latch.
I don't know what it was, but I
You
never
still
went to
don't
the
know what
bathroom
didn't.
again. But yeah, isn't that funny? So you're exactly right. It is always waiting for us. Something is always waiting for us. And how quickly can you not not just deny it or pull yourself together, but I'm in it. I'm in it. How am I responding to being in it? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's huge. And when we were at the graduation, I walked in and I had no sense of like nervous. It's you're just kind of thrown in there, and they tell you, okay, walk that way and do that. Like the thousand things coming at you. I was just walking around going, oh my gosh, this is my day. Like I
Good.
just felt it, Irene. I felt so connected to my achievement and what I went through, and just I something lit up inside of me, and I just felt happy, and I felt joy, and I just didn't want to come away from that without feeling all of it. I was expecting to feel nervous, And that would have been okay. I just was like in that moment and just so
Pride.
appreciative. Pride. Yeah, exactly.
That's pride right there, and triumph. You've triumphed,
Ooh,
right?
that's good.
A huge lifetime of not getting to where you
Mm.
want, and a lot of people would give up, and a lot of people do, right?
Yeah, and I hope everyone who is listening now or who is, thinking about doing an SBSM with you, I hope they don't give up. It, it feels like a subconscious choice to just give up, but it really can be a conscious choice to say, never mind, or I give up, or it's you. I really hope you can just have Irene pull you, right? Just, just have her pull you. There's
Yeah,
something in you, and
yeah.
when you hear her, I just felt like she was pulling me. And I'm just so thankful to you. It just seems so strange that this is my future. I, I never had that as a kid. I never,
Yeah.
because my future was blah,
Yeah.
monster. So why get up and why do the next thing and why try? Because the monster is just always bad future, bad future, bad future.
Can you talk
And
a little bit about what you've overcome in terms of I know it's a long, long list, but if you were to just do a quick historical overview, and I would love that because here you are, you've graduated, you just told this amazing story of going to your graduation, no nervousness, you've triumphed, you've succeeded, you have this new life in, middle age. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, she's so put together. There's no way that I could ever achieve that based on where I am now." Where were you back in the day?
I'll tell you that, but first I'm going to say every video I watched with you with a guest on, I said, oh, I could never be that person,
Ah,
right? And I'm in SBSM. And
interesting.
I'm
You were
going,
in SBSM at the time,
yeah,
yes.
watching your
Yeah.
videos and other interviews, I'm like, I could never get there. I could never be that. Right? They seem just so together, or they seemed something. They seemed something that I could never feel in myself. So I'm like, well, I'll just keep doing this work, I guess.
Regulated. You were sensing the regulation
Yes,
that you hadn't gotten to yet because your capacity was still building.
right.
Yeah.
100%, exactly.
Yeah.
So, it's the universal story. It's the universal story we all share of something at the beginning went amok. Okay? And you just fill in the blank. Um, it was bad. It was very, very bad. And there were so many elements to the bad that by the time I was in eighth grade, I felt like a 40-year-old person.
Oh,
I really felt like I was at a midlife crisis. Like we had lived life being so degraded,
yeah.
neglected, all the awful things. There was complete darkness, and the words hope or triumph or new life, those were so nauseating to me. They would just make me mad because I felt like people who were saying that are living like God, what do you know? you know,
Right.
Give me a break. You have it so easy to say the word triumph. What a luxury, right? I mean, just some
Yeah.
of the basic words were so luxurious to me. And when you crawl out of that
Yep.
and you are just so desperate to find any crumb, I was just looking for a morsel.
Right.
And
So
I
just to, and you do not have to share history. I will put out what I'm hearing: abuse, neglect, trauma, growing up from, I'm going to assume, a very young age, if not even in utero.
exactly.
Yeah.
And isn't that funny that I'm obviously older now and regular, but really you can see the power of a pregnancy moment. And with women that I see pregnant, I just want to go grab them and say, "Oh, this is this is it.
Yeah.
This is it. How can I help you?" Right?
Yeah. As we
Because
should be helping.
yeah, 100. Yeah, exactly. Because
Mm-hmm.
we are feeling everything Mama is feeling,
Yeah.
right? And I think this is kind of new to people to understand that.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't when they're 2 year old, 2 years old or 8 years old. It is truly in that. That is when they're feeling, oh, it is not safe here.
Mm-hmm.
You are already, the nervous system is already wiring it all the way up into your brain, saying,
Of course.
not safe, not safe.
Yeah.
So when I would learn different things, Louise Hay was, a
Mm-hmm.
first person, and she would talk about love. I would be like vomiting, going, "Oh God, shut up! I hate that
Too
word so much."
much.
Well, what is it even, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
If
when you
you've
come,
never experienced it, it's like a foreign language.
yes,
Yeah.
and it felt stupid. And who needs love? That's so dumb. You're weak if you need if you need love.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
everything was about perceiving other people as weak because they had needs. You need to go to the bathroom. You need to eat. Oh my God, you need sleep. Come on, everybody.
Yeah. Grow up.
Grow up, yeah. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy, I just,
Yeah. You were living in an absolute state of defense.
yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that takes a long time to even recognize that because because it does get wired, and so that is your
Mm-hmm.
outlook. You just see that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I've just been on this healing journey, healing
Yeah.
path forever, it, and things were helping, obviously. It was the oxygen mask. It was making me breathe another day, and
Yeah.
that's a good thing. And really, it's with your work that everything just sort of clicked and connected. It's the missing piece,
Mm-hmm. I
right?
remember you had shared you had some pretty significant symptoms. What were they again? Was it migraines?
Oh,
I couldn't remember.
ever since I was a kid, migraines, but
Uh-huh.
I'm talking just frozen,
Mm-hmm.
sick all the time, the chronic fatigue, just out of it, Irene, completely
Yeah.
checked out, dissociated, disconnected. Here's me, right over there.
Mm-hmm.
Here's this part over here. I mean, it's just
Mm-hmm.
exhausted, just overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Man, it just seems like such a completely different person.
Well, it is, and that's
Right.
right.
That's
I,
right.
I, sa- I said this in a call the other day. I think it was an SBSM call, and I can't prove the science for this, but I know I've heard this enough times that I think it's accurate that we grow a new body every 7 years because the cells regenerate. Obviously, our hair grows, our nails grow, our organs turn over, the bone remodels, things turnover in the human system. And so your system now at age 56 compared to when you were 26
Oh,
is a completely different body. You're still Bernadette, your soul is still there. But the tissue and the way it works is completely different.
yeah. I
And
have room to it's like
yeah,
I'm expanding.
yes,
Or just breathe. What is it? Is that I'm just breathing better? No, it is
it's more
truly
than that.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, hey, let's say it for what it is. It's
right.
regulation.
And that sounds so simple. Come on, everybody, just get regulated.
Yeah, come on, do some breath
Like,
work.
right, yeah.
What did you try, Bernadette? I know you said this to me earlier when we did our first talk, but what were some of the laundry lists of things that you tried in your 20s, 30s, 40s, maybe when you were even a teenager to heal and get rid of this chronic, because I would say that you had chronic illness,
Oh yeah,
syndromal representation, which for
for
those
sure.
new here is when your fight, your flight, your freeze, and your collapse are all competing with each other at the same time.
Right. And so I was not even interested in the symptoms. For example, what I was interested in is find me something to read that helps me believe that I should stay alive. Right? I mean, I can handle all the symptoms, but what would be the will to live? Where's that book? Where
Yeah.
is it a rock I hold? Because I'll try it. Right? When I was in my 30s, that's when I got into massage therapy. So I was all about essential oils, which I love and I swear by them. I think they're great.
Sure.
So topical, everything for me was
Yeah.
topical.
Yeah.
And it was rocks and gemstones in the room and certain music and all those things. So outside in.
Resources.
Yes, exactly. And I did homeopathy, chiropractic. It just seems like I tried everything.
Yeah. Diet, most likely.
Oh, yeah. I mean, remove this and try that. Yeah, and I think I was just juggling balls. Right? And like I said, it piqued my interest enough if I would learn something to try it and apply it just to keep me going to the
I
to the
mean,
next day.
I love this, and it's tough. It's also tough because some people don't make it, as we know.
Yes.
They don't find that next thing to keep them going. What should I do? Give me that reason to stay here. Clearly, you're meant to be here and stay here, and as you said, you've climbed your way out of that darkness that you described so well a few moments ago that just kept following you, right? So, for those watching this who are now looking at you as you looked at our other students, saying this is impossible, now that you are truly on this other side, I believe, like you're good, my dear, and you're going to teach other kids. So exciting! This energy that you have. What would you say to those who are watching this, who are just in that place where the darkness is still right there in front of them?
Burden was my friend, right? That sense, that feeling of I'm carrying a burden. It's the burden of wanting to be well, the burden of how do I do it, the burden of my symptoms, the burden of life, the burden of not knowing, burden, 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 burden. So I made peace with the burden.
Right.
This is here. I have tried to shoo it away, read it away. And I think I've said this in the last interview. I'm glad I never liked the taste of alcohol. I would have been an alcoholic, right?
Yeah.
There by
Isn't
the
that
grace of God
interesting?
go on. Yeah, exactly. But I just said, here we are. This is a part of me, or it's telling me something, or it's showing me something, and it's like I turn, that phrase, stop, turn, and face the dragon. Hello, burden. You've been with me a long time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you want to say?
Yeah.
And what it was saying was, my God, you're hard on me. You know? You're just so hard on me. And again, this has to do with I didn't like weakness from myself. So if I'm feeling weak or appearing weak, I don't like it.
Yeah.
So the burden was saying, do you even know that you're a human being? Like who do you think you are? Do you
Right.
think you're a robot? Do you think you're like, let's just define that. And it's the coming down of that perception that I am not human, Irene. I have to be at a different level. That's not human, it's something else,
Yeah.
right? What if we can just hang out and I can be human and get nervous in a bathroom because I'm locked in and what if? And that has been such a tool to allow this work to finally go whoop.
Yeah.
Because I was, as much as I loved it, seeing science, I'm still fighting it. right? Because the burden of, my God, this is taking a long time, or where is my life, or when is it my turn, right? To just go, wow, if I put my head on the pillow tonight, and it really was the last night, I'm okay because I did it. I I did it. I walked my walk. This was my life. I can now turn, and like Joe Dispenza says, you can thank those things in the past for getting you here. And I get it now. Like all of this stuff I'm getting. And there's no fight, there's no burden anymore. The burden just wanted to be heard.
Yeah. Connected to,
Yeah, connected to.
as opposed
Exactly.
to trying to run away from it and fix it.
Yes. 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 Exactly. Stop fixing me.
Mm-hmm.
Because as a child, I knew, well, there's something fundamentally wrong with me. My innards are bad. Well, okay. Again, how do you go make a life on that? My innards are bad. So I take my innards everywhere I go, and
Yeah.
if they're bad, that's not a good life.
No.
So when you get this stuff freed up and you just say, wow, that was the burden you carried that belief that really you thought something was wrong with you. Oh, you just got wired into someone's story. Now the environment's wiring it, and you just picked up the ball and ran with it.
Exactly. And what you just described, Bernadette, as you know, is a classic representation of toxic shame that comes to us from the outside, but then we internalize it, we swallow it.
It's
It's a
exactly
it's a
right.
it's a
Poison.
tough cookie to crack, right? It takes time.
It is. And my eyes are so big out in society now. I just see people so differently. Like I see myself with more compassion for sure, 100%. But I see other people too now in such a completely different way. And I just think, oh man, I'm so thankful to you, Irene. You saved my life. And it's like now you just want to reach in and just be there for someone. Just, you know,
Yeah.
let them feel how joyous I'm feeling. Or like you said, triumph. Let me feel that. Take that space up. Someone's going to feel that off of me. Obviously, I see it with the kids that I teach. And it was a moment that I wanted to like FaceTime you and say, oh my gosh, this is a real life happening of freeze response in a 6-year-old.
Oh, wow.
A little boy new to the school, just been there a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And it was time for recess, and we go outside, and kids are over there playing, kids are over there, groups over here, and he's not. So I go up to him, I said, hey, let's go find some friends to play with. And so he's walking really slowly with me, and I see this group of boys, and they're kicking the ball. So they're in like this little fenced in.
Sure.
He and I are outside of it, and we're just watching. I said, so I opened the gate, I have my hand on his back, and I say, little Johnny, let's go and enjoy him. He is stuck frozen. And I thought, wow, you couldn't push him.
No, he's a stone.
Stone. And I instantly thought of you. I'm like, man, I want her to tell me the scientific, like what is happening in the body. It's not the blood that's stuck. Something is so frozen in that boy.
Yeah.
And so I said, hey, kids, come on. So the group of boys came over, and I said, little Johnny wants to play the game
Play.
you're playing. Can you explain it to him? So they're, oh, yeah, we'll help him. So they're all doing that, and he is as frozen as can be. I said, oh, thanks a lot, you guys. We're going to watch for right now. So I closed the gate, and they went on
Good
playing
teacher.
it.
Yep.
Right. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, this poor kid.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, don't you think we should just take him and no, go figure it out and go play among us? No, he was just locked.
Yeah.
Irene, it was
Terrified.
so incredible.
I mean, he's terrified.
Terrified. And you look at that and you go, as an adult, you're going, come on, it's fun. There's a ball. There's boys playing, and you can play too. And nope, that was a terrifying moment for him. And his body was letting him know it and letting me know it. So I just stuck with him. I said, that's all right, When we went back inside, we were working on another activity. I said, hey, can, anyone show little Johnny on this math page we're doing? And, 3 people came over, and so he was okay with that.
Uh,
So we
that
started
was
losing him.
safer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They came over, right? There was some connection there. I thought, wow, you talk about titration? You really
There
have
you
to,
go.
just kind of daily look for opportunities
Yeah.
to to build that sense of safety here, right? And so I love that I have eyes to see that now. To me,
You
it's
have the,
exciting.
yeah, it's so exciting. You have the eyes, and now you have the behaviors in you that make helping him, he'll feel that. Like he will know that you are a resource because you're not just going to throw him in the pen,
Yes,
right?
right,
With the
exactly.
other little 6-year-olds. And when we're adults and we don't understand that, it's like, that's no big deal. Just go play. And
Right,
I mean, gosh, how many times when we were in elementary school, Bernadette, we were forced to,
forced.
forced, and you had to fit in. And that's where the override starts. Now, of course, we have to learn how to do things. And it almost parallels your story of going through the SBSM course, your life, and then the schooling and the testing. It wasn't easy, but you did titrate it and you kept at it and you kept at it. And so I'm just thrilled that you're in the school system because I get a lot of, not so much anymore, but when I first started doing this work, so many people saying, Irene, you need to go to the school systems and tell the teachers about this. You need to go to the medical doctors, you need to go to the ER. And I'm like, well, I personally can't go to all these
Right,
places.
right, exactly.
That's impossible. And so I have I have a little healthy, or maybe a lot of healthy pride when I hear stories like yours and your peers. They're taking the work, you're taking the work, and you are putting it into the system. And there's this thought that we have to like change the system. Well, we change the system, I believe, by the people who infiltrate
I
the
agree.
system.
Because there are teachers that are completely overwhelmed with what's happening in schools today,
Of
Irene.
course.
And it's like grown adults are being chased out of a job by 5 and 6 and 7 year olds because the behavior is just off the charts.
Yeah.
So when they're overwhelmed and they're, just at their limit, that just sends that wave back out, and then the kids send it back, and it's like this volleyball match,
It is. It is.
all that. And so I really have to make sure that I am set and that I know what the higher purpose of me being there is.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I wish that we could tear down the school system and restart because I think we still do things the wrong way. So why is there a first grade little girl crying, the sobbing tears because of a math problem? No, why is that still happening today?
Yeah. It's
So it was
insane.
handing out these math worksheets, and I'm kind of going around looking, oh, and
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Because I'm realizing, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, what is it? She didn't understand it. Hey, honey, I get you. Because
I was that
I,
kid too. I hit it though. I went into freeze. I didn't cry,
oh,
right?
it's awful.
I'll give you a little, I'm going to confess my sin. I had a ruler, Bernadette, in grade 2. I think it was grade 2. And I had my times tables written on the back of the ruler with the answers. I don't, I think this is an accurate memory because I couldn't learn.
Yeah,
I can do times tables now, but I just, for whatever reason, I mean, there's lots of reasons, but
right.
it just wasn't my environment for learning. And somehow I figured it out and I ended up going to university and taking high level calculus.
Yeah.
But I had to cheat the system because I was that little girl, but instead I took this ruler and made it a
That is
cheat
so
sheet.
funny. I absolve you of that sin.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, why are we still doing that? To produce tears from children, and then we just keep hammering at it. Nope, let's get going. Let's do the next sheet. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not right to me. And my eyes, like I said, they just go to that. And I'm like, okay. And you know what's
absolutely.
great? Kids are so willing to help. So again, it's like,
Yeah.
hey, who can help little Sally? And they come around.
Yes.
And she's learning from them.
Yeah. They want to engage.
They do, and they need that, and they
Mm-hmm.
are learning. And I was watching them go, "You guys, thank you so much. You are doing such a great job explaining it to them." And because there are star students who like get things, and then they want to then reach in and help. They love that,
Yeah.
and they are better communicators.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just think we have to do something different.
I'd be curious to know too, like, because at that young age, you'll have kids with different birthdays, right?
Yes.
So my birthday is in November, and so there were
Okay.
people in a class where their birthday is January. When you're 5 or
Yes.
6, that 10-month,
Oh, it makes
12-month,
a
it's a
huge
huge
difference.
difference. And I can't help but wonder if that was also something, no excuses, but I often wondered, did that impact me? Because I was one of the youngest often in the classes.
Right.
Hard to know, right?
Right.
Hard to know. What I want to just start to end with, because this is such a great parallel, what I see in SBSM and in my online courses, and you mentioned this, is this beating ourselves up for not doing well, not going fast enough, not getting it right, not figuring it out in the first 21 days, if we think about the 21-day tune up. But what you just shared with me about these little people is what I know our adult people, when they're learning how to regulate, have to work with, because we're trying to, even though, yes, you have learned regulation, you have a regulated system, your symptoms are gone, you've got this degree, there is a portion, if not a big portion, of doing this work, which is about learning how to learn again.
Yes.
And again, I'm excited that you're seeing this at the beginning, because these people, these little kids, and of course, you're not going to have them forever, you'll have them
Right.
right for the years you have them, are going to learn a way of learning that will help them later on in life. Now, are you seeing that? Do you have any commentary on that in terms of watching even SBSM peers who struggle, like you said, like, oh, I just can't get through this? How much of that do you think is trauma versus the system of learning we were brought into?
Well, what is it we're trying to do anyway? Right?
Yeah.
So what is this thing that we have an issue with? Okay? So when you're going through SBSM, oh, okay, something did come up. It was I don't know what she's talking about. Or I don't feel safety in my body. That's weird. Or I'm feeling way too much of something in my body and I can't shut it off. What do I do? So that's the thing, right? That's the dance. That is where you are your dance partner. Yes, I was dancing with Irene, right? And then she twirls me around and now I dance with myself.
Right.
Next week I'm dancing with Irene.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm dancing with myself. So it really is just a self and self.
It's an integration.
It is an integration, but it is a can you just sit with yourself and say, what do you want? Well, I don't want to feel like this, and I don't, okay, but what do you want? Well, I don't even know. I can't even think out of this. Okay, so you want to think past this. That's a start. That's a start. So you write your own little report card. And it's the checklist. My God,
Right.
Irene, I just wanted to write an application and a resume, right? So
Yeah,
that was my checklist.
that was
And I
it. That,
noticed in 1 year, better. In 2 years, great, I'm doing it. Now, everybody's timeline is different, everybody has different wants, but I would say, what is it that you want? Well, gosh, I just want to not yell at my kids, or I just want to have a nice interaction at the store, or I just want to, feel good in my body, or I just want to drive in my car and not feel claustrophobic. Just,
yeah,
okay, so that's a start. And
yeah.
that's something we can start with. And it's like building that snowman. We just packed the snow.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got the little first round ball.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Titration.
yeah,
Back to that.
it is.
No, I love that. So you're basically saying each person, as we know, is different. We're each going to have different things that we want like you said,
Yes.
what do you want? And to use those external or maybe internal goal, it's like goal marks,
Yes.
here and here, and to
Because
see
Irene,
how
when
it,
I
go
first
ahead.
came online with you, I
Yeah,
didn't want a college degree. That was so not
so
even.
far.
I wanted to get up the next day. Okay. So that's sometimes where people need to start. And titration in that sense can look like I brushed my teeth, right? I put on shoes. I walked outside and I don't feel any different. Like she's telling me to orient, look at that tree, bring my eyes back here. Okay, I'm not feeling anything. But it was just that simple. For me, that's where my starting point was.
Yep.
That, wow, okay, you know, and I was having my report cards. Because there is always that greater self. My greater self brought me to this moment. How? I don't know. But led me to you, led me to the work, da da da. It was in my workings from the time I was an itsy bitsy in the womb. Something greater than me was calling me. And I just blindly followed, right?
I believe that.
Yeah. And it is just to take the pressure off. There is no big parade. The parade comes in the form of the graduation, for example, when stuff in you just lines up. It's the next logical or the next what, sensible, the next body movement thing. I don't know how to explain that. How did that
Like,
happen, Irene?
yeah, it's like the next impulse,
Exactly, the next impulse. Right.
which is another big part of the learning is following impulse, but
Yes.
as you know, biological impulse, which when you first start, as you said, what's going on? I'm just listening to when I have to go to the bathroom. How is this going to get me my college degree? Right?
Exactly. Yeah, no, exactly.
However, 5 years later, here we are.
Right. So what is 5 years from now going to look like?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now I have permission, or now I have this understanding of it is something. I don't have blackness.
Yeah.
It is it is something. It can be something, rather, I should say. It can absolutely be something. I am all in life now. Like I'm in it. And
Yeah,
so
you're
life is for me. I can reach for things, right? Um, and like I said, there's still going to be those moments where you're trapped in the bathroom. But I, you just have the luxury of reaching
yeah.
for things.
I commend you. Thank you for continuing to walk forward and follow the impulse. My sense is what you've just described is you are now a human not living in constant threat.
Right.
And here you are. Doesn't mean there won't be stress. That's different. But you're not living in survival stress. This is the epitome of a regulated human.
It is, and it is the walking it through every day. So my next season, Irene, to be quite honest, is integrating. It is, I don't
Yeah.
know a life without being so unhealthy, so
Yeah.
dysfunctional, so cognitively shut down. I don't know. This
That's
is
brand new.
a brand new
Watch
world,
out.
right? So that's the grace I put on myself. There doesn't need to be any big thing coming. It is me every day in this new reality. That's all. That is my greatest accomplishment. And I love that. I love that. And I believe in what you're doing so much. And I'm so thankful to your ability to say, there is a greater need, so I'm going to start developing this, more intense teaching, training.
Yeah.
And from that, it is just going to, because you're going to come into something even greater. Like it's just, like we just keep going greater and greater now. All
That's the
aboard.
that's the plan.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much. I think this is a good place to end our recording. I will post our first conversation near this video. I would even say, even though we've covered most of your story in detail, if people want to go back and have a peek, they will see, I know they will see the change in your regulation. This is a common thing when I do another talk with, SPSM students years later or a year later. You feel the difference in the regulation, and I feel that in you compared to when we first started working in the beta training that we
Yes.
did. So keep going. Thank you for your
Thank
time. It's
you,
been really,
Irene.
really good to reconnect and hear your
Yes.
story again.
Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody.